Welcome to Brewing TV. I'm your host, Michael Dawson.
And I'm your other host, Jake Keeler. There's nothing suggestive about what we're doing here.
Not at all. We're just getting ready to bottle some Biere de Garde in these 750 milliliter cork-finished bottles.
That's right, and then we're going to take a little bit and put it in a 3-gallon keg because we want it now as opposed to later. Doing things differently, it's kind of a underlying current in homebrewing.
It is. All grain, extract, bottling, kegging.
So many new things to try.
New things can be scary sometimes.
Absolutely.
All grain, for example.
Very scary.
It's kind of a big commitment doing 5 gallons a totally different way. It's a big step. But imagine if you made that commitment not on a 5-gallon scale, but on the scale of something like, say, full sales system.
What?
Yeah, for real. We're going to talk to a guy who did just that, his first all-grain batch on full sales setup.
Awesome.
Yeah, then back here in the basement, bottling some Biere de Garde. Stay tuned. All for
great.
brew.
Brew for all.
Ching. It's clean now.
I think this is working properly.
We're ready.
We're ready. As fans of Brewing TV probably already know, back in May of this year, we had a blast visiting Biervana, aka Portland, Oregon. While we were there, we couldn't resist the urge to head east, along the beautiful Columbia River Gorge to Hood River, home to Sail Brewing Company. As luck would have it, the day we were in town, something pretty damn cool was going on at Sail. And of course, it involved a home brewer.
I guess what I'm trying to say here is when it comes to the art and science of fermentation, Wendell has mastered both. So Wendell's going to take a few moments to describe his beer, so take it away, Wendell.
All right. Yeah, my name is Wendell. No.
Wendell Bryant, known at this event as Wendell, has been a home fermentation hobbyist for 15 years. He started by making his own wine, then got into homebrewing beer. Now he works in Sail's packaging department and a proud member of the Brewers Share program.
The Brewers Share program was born out of just the enthusiasm for brewing that the brewery of 22 years now, still has. That they wanted to not only, recognize the efforts of all the people that work here that, pour their heart and soul into being consistent and producing the same great beers day in, day out, but they also wanted to recognize the creative spirit and mind that the people have here. And so we wanted to give them an opportunity to create a beer, have a vision, follow it through, see the reaction from the people that we get to work for every day, which is the customers, and it's been great.
With that, even though I'm not a brewer, I'm assistant packager in the packaging line. They asked if I would be able to do that or would be interested in brewing my beer, and of course I was ecstatic about it and said, great. Yeah, I couldn't believe that they even asked me or considered me to do this. Cheers. Cheers. All right. Cheers. Yeah, nice. Cheers. Trying to figure out what kind of style of beer to do. Didn't want to do anything close or similar to what Full Sail does, and I want to try to stay away from what other brewers have done prior to me. So, like I said, I like German-style beers, the Bock-style lagers, and want to do a Doppelbock, except for we already did a Doppelbock here, the 21, and so I decided that's when I'd go with the Weizen, or the wheat style, in a Doppelbock.
Wendelweizen is the 11th beer produced by the Brewers Share program, a lineup that includes an ESB, a dark Weizen, and an alt beer made with Northwest hops. What can you say about this beer that we just tapped?
Well, it's my very first beer that I've ever done as far as full grain and large scale. It's a Bock style German beer. I did it in the style of a Doppelbock, but instead of the traditional Doppelbock, I did it with wheat. And so that's why I'm calling it Weizen. And seeing that I'm calling it Wendelweizen is because in German language they can't pronounce their W's, so going with V's with it. And that's why in the spelling it was V's, so everybody gets the idea, Wendelweizen.
That's right. Wendell went from 5-gallon batches of extract homebrew to a 16-barrel batch of all grain. Quite a step up. What are some of the challenges of taking a recipe, say, from that homebrew scale to a larger system?
Well, for me, it's quite a challenge because as a home brewer, I don't have a setup that does all grain. So basically, this is the first time I ever did all grain. I do the malt extract whenever I home brew. And so, yeah, that was a big challenge, of course, in using larger equipment and, not really being used to that kind of stuff. Had a lot of help from John Harrison and Phil. And so it was exciting. And then with John, he helped me be able to convert the small batch amounts that I needed to get into a larger volume, and so that makes sure that it came close to being exactly what I've done in the past.
And there was no shortage of happy beer fans at the release party to give their assessment. It looks like you're drinking the Wendelweizen. What do you think?
I think it's a great beer. I'm originally from the Midwest. I'm a big fan of wheat beers in general, and it's been really hard to find a delicious wheat beer out here. And so it's good to see Wendel working the wheat aspect of beer into the Columbia River Gorge. They've got great hops, great area for growing hops, and why would you go anywhere else if you've got that kind of substance for brewing? But it's really great to see wheat kind of edging its way into the beer market around here.
So we got 4 gents here, all trying Wendel's beer. Wendel, however you want to say it. What do you guys think?
I think it's awesome. It's real tasty. It's got a nice flavor to it. Tastes good. I like it. You did a good job.
Yeah, it's a very smooth beer. I mean, for being as strong as it is, it's very smooth and easy drinking.
Nice and malty. I really like the carbonation level in it, and the high alcohol is a good plus.
Yeah, this is a great color and great beer. I think this is one of the best beers I ever have here. Actually.
Okay, I got one last question for you, and it's a big question that we ask everybody that we interview. What is home brewing to you?
Home brewing to me, it's a way to get a different type of beer that you may not find out in the market, although that's kind of tough nowadays. But just be able to experiment around and find out what you can do as a home brewer. Another way is when I first got started in it, not only the excitement of trying to make my own beer and do different styles, but I found that it was a little cheaper to make your own than it was out buying beer and stuff like that. But yeah, basically it was just to see how creative you can be, and you might have tried something on the market you liked and you want to see if you can get somewhat close to that. And so it's just a lot of fun experimenting around. Cheers. Good.
Well, it seems Wendel did a great job of taking some advice and some teaching from the brewers there at Full Sail and learned how to do all grain on a ridiculously large system.
Yeah, adapt, improvise, and overcome, right?
There you go. Much like Wendel, I'm curious to try something new here. I've never actually bottled a beer in these Belgian-style bottles with the cork and the wire caps. I've seen plenty of commercial examples. I've always been curious about brewing up a beer that was appropriate for this method, and then getting what I need. And looking this all over, what have we got going on here?
Well, we've got these heavy-duty, thick glass Belgian-style cork-finished bottles. Are the
Sure.
same that you might see, beers from Unibrew packaged in, or a lot of bigger Belgian beers, monastic-style beers, and
Right.
and stuff like that. They're designed to withstand the high pressures that you would want to carbonate something like a triple or a Belgian strong
Right.
too. And they're cork finished, so
Sure.
they look totally sweet. You need the bottles, and you need the specialized conglomerate Belgian corks to put in them. And then because of the high pressures, to keep the corks from shooting back out, you want to use these hoods and wires
Okay.
to cinch the cork down on top of the bottle.
I notice we're soaking these in a little bit of Star San.
That's mainly to lubricate them,
Okay.
as well as to sanitize them.
Okay.
But mainly it's going to make them easier to use on the last piece of equipment we need, which is a floor corker for wine.
Right.
Most homebrewers, this will be the big investment unless you already make wine. I know we make
Right.
wine, so we've got these handsome
Right.
Portuguese floor corkers at our disposal, or as my Spanish roommate in college said it was properly pronounced, it was pork and cheese. So we're going to use this pork and cheese floor corker to put one of the corks about halfway into the bottle.
Okay.
The cork goes into the iris in the top.
Okay, just like that.
Yep, when the lever's back,
Yep.
the bottle platform is loose, so you can lock it in. When you start to push the lever down, the platform locks. And it's going to be easiest if you are on the front end of the corker. So let's
so around the other side.
Yeah, turn it to the side so Chip will get a profile. And you'll want to be here so you can put your weight on that lever.
Right. And just go down.
Yep, push it down.
Pushes it in.
Yep. And you'll notice we got the plunger depth adjusted so it's not going to push the bottle or the cork all the way into the bottle.
Right, if this was wine like I've done on a floor corker, we'd have this further up, therefore plunging it all the way into the wine bottle. All right.
And because it's only halfway into the bottle, what we need to do to remove it is actually pull down and pull the bottle out from the bottom before you can slide it out. And it's going to take a little bit of doing.
A little bit of work, but not too bad.
Yeah.
And there you see the cork is about 3/4 inch above the bottle.
Yeah.
Perfect size for the wire cap to go on.
And once you have the bottle carbonated and there's pressure inside, you'll be able to just twist that out by hand.
Right. Take the cap, put it on top.
Yep.
Situate it down, and you can either do it by hand by just turning it and twisting kind of like a twist tie, or you can use a
wire tightener.
Right
you don't need to over tighten it. It's a fairly thin wire, and you can strip it if you're incredibly strong like you are, Keeler.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Pretty simple, pretty easy. It's a nice variation on, say, capping your beer or kegging your beer. Obviously makes a pretty nice presentation.
It's an awesome presentation.
Yeah.
I'm saving these bottles of Biere de Garde for Thanksgiving dinner.
Perfect.
And so I want it to look sharp.
Awesome. Well, let's get to actually bottling this stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Full bottles are better than empty bottles.
Always. That's the sound of a man working on the chain. Gang, don't you know? That's the sound of a man working on the chain. Gang. Short fills, man. A great byproduct of bottling beer.
Here's the short fills.
Here's to short fills.
It's kind of Bach-like, a little bit biscuity, kind of fruity,
A little fruity.
little bit of funk, just a little
funk.
little edge of something from the long aging and the high gravity, and it'll pick up some more of that from the cork-finished bottle.
Boy, it's refreshing though.
Yeah,
It's a crisp beer.
it's kind of, that cousin of Saison, cuisine de saison. It's brewed in the spring, ferment it warm, lager it cold, and then bust it out in the summer. So
Nice.
we'll have to come back when that keg is carbonated and enjoy some while the weather's warm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to take a chance to thank Full Sail and Wendell for showing us around while we were in Hood River. They were very gracious and welcomed us with open arms. It was a really great experience to spend some time there.
Thanks to Northern Brewer for those sweet-ass Belgian bottles.
Yeah.
And thanks also to our friends with benefits, the Brewing Network and Brew Your Own magazine. Please support them because they support us.
That's right. And for those of you on the internets, next week in real time, in real life, the three of us are heading off to Madison, Wisconsin, where we're going to take a look at a hop field in their first year out in Dodgeville, Wisconsin.
Simple Earth hops.
That's right. And then we're going to actually go to New Glarus Brewery, or New Glarus Brewing Company.
In the town of New Glarus.
Right. And interview Dan and Deborah Carries, and that looks like that's going to be
That'll
a
be
really
exciting.
great time. Yeah. And we're going to meet up some homebrewers there in Madison as they prepare for the Great Taste of Midwest, which is the weekend after.
Big stuff.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter. Maybe we'll be down at the Great Dane. Maybe we'll be down at the Silver Dollar. Who knows? But if you're around and you'd like to meet us, we'd love to have a pint with you.
I think that about does it for this week.
I think so.
You want to go check out my hops?
Yeah, let's go check them out.
All right, all for brew.
Brew for all. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Let's go see those hops.
Centennials.
Okay. Citizens, you are looking at a living specimen of a St. Paul Yeti, otherwise known as Dawson's dog, Risa. She's a full-blooded German Shepherd, and some of you may have seen her in the last episode roaming behind my shoulder at the 15:30 mark. This is a rare occasion of seeing this creature in its native environment, prefers concrete floors in the summertime, outdoors in the wintertime, frolicking in the snow, has been known to eat an entire hard-boiled egg, and occasionally pukes when it eats too fast or too much. If you see this animal, be prepared for licks on the hand, a sniffing of the crotch, and quite a bit of affection. Do not run, it is not dangerous. It is a beloved pet of Michael Dawson.